Justice League scores early Twitter praise from critics while worried fans rejoice. The entertainment world and movie fandom waited with bated breath this morning, as the first social media reactions rolled in for Warner Bros. Superhero team-up movie Justice League. The initial reactions were primarily positive, including my own, but I'm not at liberty to write more about the film here, so watch for my full review early next week, with even most of the mixed social media posts declaring the entertainment value and fun of the film outweigh its flaws. There were of course a few negative reactions, but those were largely drowned out by the good reactions and the outpouring of DC fan relief. After an extended production that saw multiple early rewrites and a last-minute change of directors, Justice League comes in the aftermath of decidedly mixed critical and mainstream audience reactions to many of the previous installments in Warner's attempts to build a shared cinematic world for their DC Comics stable of characters. Man of Steel received majority positive reviews when it released in 2013, but overall reactions were still mixed and it finished with a less than expected $668 million in theaters. Batman v Superman notoriously faced a wave of heated negative critical reception and lukewarm audience sentiment, although none of that prevented it from topping $873 million in global receipts. Suicide Squad, despite last-minute reworking to respond to some of the complaints about Batman v Superman, wound up with terrible reviews but still overperformed at the box office to the tune of $745 million. Ray Fisher as Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, in Warner's Justice League. Then everything changed this year, when Wonder Woman hit theaters to widespread critical acclaim and overwhelming audience love, becoming one of the best-reviewed superhero movies of all time and the highest-grossing superhero origin movie in history, hauling in $821.7 million worldwide. Now, Justice League prepares to storm into theaters in 1 week, riding some of Wonder Woman's coattails and a marketing campaign promoting it as a more family-friendly, fun, hopeful approach to the soap. The early social media reactions will help add to the positive buzz, and then next week the first reviews will start showing up, likely reflecting much of the thumbs-up attitude apparent from the early social media posts. Another positive omen for Justice League is that I've heard the most recent test screenings of this new version of the film receive much better reactions from test audiences, closer to the scores Wonder Woman received. If this is accurate, and I believe it is, then that bodes well for the possible word of mouth leading up to opening weekend, not to mention the potential for Justice League to have decent legs at the box office. A team-up film of this size, serving as the culmination of the first stage of world building for the DCU, is expected to perform in the $1 billion range. While Thor: Ragnarok already dominates the marketplace and Star Wars: The Last Jedi looms on the horizon, there is still plenty of room to reach target audiences and have a healthy run, as long as the positive sentiment continues going forward and the rest of critics and audiences agree with the early reactions. Justice League should perform at least in the $900 million range to avoid talk of underperforming, but the crucial point here is that with so much mixed expectations for so many months, the film will benefit from the fact that performing roughly at the reasonable level will wind up perceived as a huge victory. Everything ultimately depends on just how much Justice League really delivers the goods, of course, and you'll all find out next week when you have a chance to finally see the film for yourself, and to check out the full reviews when the embargo drops. Until then, fans will have to bask in the initial glow of good social media reactions and rumors of strong test audience scores.